Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today, as sure as Kilimanjaro rises like Olympus, we find ourselves on Serengeti to witness a game between the Viper playing as the Tatars in yellow and Hera playing as the Ethiopians in blue. Now, while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to go up to Feudal as fast as possible, let's first take a minute to chat about the game itself before we look at the civs. As you noticed, if you noticed, I hope you noticed, there were 9 villagers and 2 houses for each player at the start of the game. That's because this game is from the Champions Invitational Tournament, a best of 21 slugfest hosted by Hera, who invited 4 other major tournament winners to join him in battling it out. Participants of the Champions Invitational are obviously Hera and the Viper, as you can see on your screen, as well as Mr. Yo, TaToH, and Vinchester. Now, although I won't be casting all the games of every single series of the Champions Invitationals, I believe some of them lasted about 6 or 7 hours so far. I will be casting individual games that I think are fun or instructional or are just downright, bizarre or whatever. Wherever the fancy takes me, we'll cast those games and hopefully we all have some fun and possibly even learn a little along the way. So without further ado, let's actually take a look at the Tatars, a civilization that does everything it can to push its players towards mounted units. Cavalry archers come with extra line of sight. Parthian tactics and thumb ring are free. Some mounted units, for example, scout cav units, steppe lancers, and cav archers can be upgraded to get extra armor. And their first unique unit is the Keshik. This is a medium cavalry unit that actually generates gold every time it pokes and prods at an enemy unit, which can come in very useful in the late game as gold becomes very scarce and raids become more frequent. By the way, we'll take a look at the map, the Serengeti map, in a moment once we finish reviewing the civs. As you can tell from the minimap, resources are few and far between. Now, once your Tatar army is out on the field of battle, it is very important for you to get this. What the hell am I talking about? I'm talking about the high ground, because instead of the usual 25% extra damage, Tatar units do 50% more damage when they are on the high ground. This becomes even more important in the later stages of the game as trebs come out, because the Tatars can upgrade their trebs to have +2 range, which together with siege engineers gives their trebs 19 range. Now, in order to help feed a big, hungry, cavalry-based population, Tatar herdables do contain 50% more food, and starting in Castle Age, new town centers spawn 2 sheep for free. By the way, I just noticed that there's a nice little sparkle on the ground here. I don't know if it's the the dead animals or it's just a random feature, because I don't see it anywhere else. But a nice, cute little addition to the map. I don't mind it at all. Next to the acacia trees, and one of my favorite, the baobabs. I hope to see these in real life one day. Definitely on the old bucket list. Anyway, getting back to the game, we've got the Ethiopians south of our Tatari settlement, a civilization designed to kill its opponents as fast as humanly possible. Ethiopian foot archers are the fastest firing foot archers in the game. Their onagers, scorpions, rams, and even bombard cannons can be upgraded to have an even bigger blast radius. And their unique unit, the Shotel Warrior, is a fast, incredibly strong, but overall fragile infantry unit that trains in only 4 seconds once you upgrade it to its elite form. Now, to help strengthen their army in any ensuing battle, both Shotel Warriors and Ethiopian Camel units can be upgraded to take less damage from all mounted units, which might be a bit of a problem for our Tatar if we are lucky enough to see the Royal Heirs upgrade. Now, to support their military endeavors, Ethiopians get 100 food and 100 gold for free whenever they go up in age. And by the way, while I was blabbing on, we did go up in age. So take a look at the top right. Our Ethiopian sitting on 220 gold. Our Viper, our Tatar, at 110. That's because the Ethiopians got an extra 100 once they hit Feudal, and they'll get an extra 100 once they hit Castle and hopefully Imperial. They also get the pikeman upgrade for free, which saves a player about 300 resources, which on a map with scarce resources, every cent you save is fantastic. And lastly, their economy is much harder to raid because their outposts come with a huge +3 boost to their line of sight and don't cost any stone. So there's really no excuse for an Ethiopian player not to plop down as many outposts as possible, as early on as possible. Looks like the Viper has discovered his opponent's settlement. Hera has also discovered his opponent's settlement. Let's zoom out. Apologies to anyone on a smaller screen. Take a look. This is Serengeti. A few big buttes, I believe these are called, when they're flat at the top, I believe. One fun thing we discovered during one of our live streams, you can't see the shapes or outlines of units. Just like you can see here, you see the outline of the lumberjack. You can't see those outlines behind these buttes, which is very interesting. Might lead to some potential surprises, some ambushes. What you might have noticed also is that trees are not very plentiful here. This is an arid, dry land, even though it does come with a good amount of lakes, which do naturally, by the way, create small-ish checkpoints. Not exactly, not exactly huge, not exactly small. Let's call them medium. So depending on where they're located, the player can use them to his or her advantage, although it doesn't look like any of them are impacting either base, except for the Viper, who's decided to allow it to impact his by using it as part of his wall off. Now let's take a look at the resources. Primary gold. Actually, I don't think there even is a primary gold on Serengeti, right? I think there's only a primary stone. Yeah, there's only a primary stone with 4 piles versus 3. I think the rest are just all 4 and 4. Either way, for the Viper, both. Whatever the hell you want to call them, they're in the backwards position. Hera, one is off campus, one is inside, also to the back position. Stone as well to the back position, but based on how he's already walled off his map, number one, he obviously expects aggression from his opponent, and his opponent is happy to oblige here. Man, it is going to be hard for Hera to see some of these yellow units of the Viper as they stream across the map, given the background color of the sands. I love this, by the way, the cracked, arid desert hellscape that these two players are battling it out on. But the way Hera created his wall off, both one patch of gold and secondary stone are off campus. So he just wants to basically mine one patch out at a time and use that to, I'm assuming, get up to castle as fast as possible. Yeah, take a look. He's already clicking up. The Viper still needs 600 food. 9 army count for Hera as he defends his settlement against ranged units that are at what? +1 range, +1 attack, and +1 armor. And here come these Ethiopian foot archers. Man, oh man, take a look. They already attack at a 1.7, fully upgraded with thumb ring. They will attack at a 1.4. That is Mangudai level speed, and that is exactly why the Viper wants nothing to do with them, which is why he is putting on a crazy amount of aggression at the moment. Not getting much done, but that doesn't detract from the fact that this is a lot of archer units here from our Tatar. And this just goes to show you casting. You know, I say the Tatar is a civ that pushes its players towards mounted units. And what do we have on the ground? We have 1 mounted unit and 13 foot archers. I don't know where this lumberjack thinks he's going. By the way, how the hell did he even manage to build his house? Look at this. How did he build his house? From this corner here? Where the hell did he get in to build his house? From the right side, I guess? That's hilarious. Tournament already off to a fun start. I'm not going to reveal, by the way, who wins the best of 21s. I'm not going to reveal how many games were played of a best of 21. I'm not even going to reveal whether or not this is, you know, a first, a second, an 11th, a 21st game or not. If you want to check it out, I highly recommend you do. There are a couple of casters who are live streaming it. There will be a link below to Hera's YouTube page where you can find all the information. And yeah, very thankful that I'm able to cast. As you guys are aware, I am not exactly the most tech-savvy person in the world. So sometimes when there are tournaments that I want to cast, by the time I get around to casting them with a baby in the house, the version of the game has already changed. And by the way, take a look. Take a look. You won't see them. You don't see the outline. That means that there can be units hidden here, right? Or am I reading too much into this map? In any event, as I was saying, I am lucky and happy that I caught the version of this game, or rather that this game is being played on the current version. This tournament is being played on the current version of the game. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. But here we go. Oh, man. Finds a bit of a gap here. Although it doesn't look like the Viper really was intending to wall this off at all. More concerned about a full frontal attack as opposed to a bit of a side swipe. And like I said, take a look at the minimap. How hard will it be for Hera to see these yellow dots? It is very hard for me. But crossbows are inside the Viper's base. The Viper getting crossbows himself. Elite Skirmisher's Bodkin. So we are going to see a nice ranged war between the players as the Viper surrounds Hera's base on two sides. Scout continues searching, I'm assuming, for relics. And Hera here has now expanded outside his main settlement walls and is now under attack yet again. Here we go, the Viper returning the favor as he manages to snipe a bunch of these crossbows. But oh man, brilliant play out of Hera here. Snipes the actual crossbows, which leaves the Scout to come in. But okay, Scout, I guess, a little bit frazzled, a little bit traumatized by the horrors of war, decided to just kind of hang out, maybe frozen, shell-shocked, I believe is the term. And once he got rid of the Viper's crossbows, that Scout moved in onto the skirmishers. I'm surprised he didn't do more damage. I really do wonder why he stopped there. But whatever, he did stop. Reasons unknown. And that allowed this crossbow to get one notch on his belt. Oh, Hera with the mangonel. By the way, has 3 mangonels. Where are the others? We saw, okay, there's one here. I don't want to miss any juicy mangonel shots. Hera knows how to use his mangonel. Oh my god, they all lined up in a row. They lined up to die. Goodness gracious, crossbows. Already multi-pronged attacks out of both players. More so on the Viper side, though Hera has done a fantastic job of defending both players in castle. Both players at 44, 45 villager count, army count identical. Second town center going up for the Viper. I don't mind this location at all. A little bit further away from the gold. Maybe should have moved it 1 tile away this way. And a second town center going up for our Ethiopian. He wants that stone. But my goodness, how the hell did the Viper get into here? Oh, he destroyed the palisade wall that was here. Yikes, 10 kills for these crossbowmen already. Hera moving in with 3 mangonels. Oh, I don't want to miss any of this. Okay, now Hera defending with a cheaper siege unit, the Scorpion. And let's see how much more the Viper can do here. This is an exposed woodline. I'm surprised Hera's retreating with this Scorpion. Uh-oh. Okay, we already missed 1 volley. Oh, where do we look? Where do we look? Do we look at the Scorpions? Yeah, let's look at the Scorpions. Let's highlight these units. See, oh man. As soon as I see this yellow blob, though, moving forward. Oh, this is exactly what I wanted to see. That is so sour. 5 Scorpion, 5 crossbows. Oh my goodness, I'm glad I turned away. We unfortunately didn't get to see the death of the last crossbowman here from the Viper. By the way, good use. Effective use of those crossbows. How many kills did they ultimately end up getting? It's already 18 villager kills to none. Wow, but our Ethiopian with a lot more military kills. It looks like, what, 15 kills for the Viper, 29 for our Ethiopian, who is now moving in here, but counter mangonel. Oh, Hera's not paying attention, loses a mangonel immediately. The Viper greedy wants to move in for another shot. Will Hera notice? He does, but a little bit too late. House goes down. So far, this mangonel killing mangonel has done an amazing job, but the Viper's still here. These guys are lined up for the Scorpion. He's still here as well, but the Scorpions are going to be able to zone these units out. Their pierce armor of just a ridiculous 7 means that any of these units, any of these crossbows are going to be completely impotent unless the Viper micros them. And right now it does look like the Viper is microing them. Doesn't look like there's... Okay, never mind. Now he's pulled his focus here. Beautiful, luring the Scorpion with the one crossbow to the left while the other one tickles away at the HP. One bolt at a time. Man, he is being so annoying. But Hera here. Hera, be careful. You're clumping. You're clumping. Oh, got just the tip of the mangonel. Interesting. That kind of looked like the rocks were about to hit the mangonel. This is incredible. Does look like he lost one crossbow. Survives, does the other. Hera retreats temporarily. Viper going very far off campus to find gold and to find stone. And it looks like the Scorpion here, 6 kills. Also managed to destroy and incapacitate that crossbow, but the Viper is not done. I am very surprised that he is competing with foot archers against the Ethiopians. Oh, lucky for him, he had the high ground. Remember, these units deal 25% extra damage from the high ground, which is why that mangonel just died. 50% extra damage instead of the usual 25. Still, 1.7 firing range to the normal. Okay, never mind. It looks like the Viper did get thumb ring. Does lose one crossbow picked off. Has Hera has no clue. He hasn't even explored this part of the map yet. And oh, goodness gracious. Our Ethiopian wants to end this. But his units are super clumped here. Okay, loses 1 for 1. So far, fantastic trades by the Viper, who gets revenge. He gets revenge for that mangonel shot that was here earlier that got those 5 crossbowmen. Does manage to get, what, 3? Yeah, 3. Now the Viper's not paying attention, is on move command. They are lining up perfectly for Hera's crossbows. Oh, God. And look at them. You can't see how many units are there behind here. I mean, this is something the developers have to fix, but maybe until they do, somebody please take advantage of this. Lure your opponent. Use it to trap them. Crossbows continue to circle around, and now the castle idea abandoned. Hera, with 850 stone, decides I'm going to place a town center here. An interesting location ringed by higher ground, which, you know, again, the Tatars, higher ground, not something you want to cede very quickly. A 4th town center going up for our Tatar, but it looks like, oh, look at this. He just wasn't ready. He didn't have enough units, but now he does, I guess. What are we working with here? I'm desperately trying to click. 11 crossbows, 10 crossbows, and a mangonel. And 11 villagers move in. The Viper sees this. No way he doesn't. The one surviving crossbowman from this atrocious journey has made it to Hera's base. And the Viper just keeps losing so many crossbows individually sniped. But does he care? He's sitting at 85 villagers to the 67 of his opponent. He's got double the gold count. A little bit more wood and a little bit less stone. Another shot for this mangonel that now has 5 kills. And look at this, Hera's making himself at home. Pinching stone like Mr. Yo likes to pinch relics in the Viper. This might be why he wasn't paying too close attention to the... Actually, never mind. It was Hera. I'm sorry. It was Hera who wasn't paying too close attention to his mangonel here. The Viper microing these 2 knights. 1 kill. Lies dead with his pickaxe on the hot desert floor. And now this town center researching wheelbarrow. Theater of war has shifted east. Mangonels missing each other again. The Tatar on the high ground, not something you should take lightly, but look at that, our Ethiopian siege. Oh man, the high ground is so powerful. The Scorpions survive, but not before they take a bolt from a crossbow and die. So much action. Hera loses both of his Scorpions. This one still survives with 9 HP. And now Hera has to get the hell out of here. This is not a siege army he can engage into. Why did you stop? Why did you stop? Oh, no. Both players taking unnecessary damage, which for us, the viewers, the watchers, the learners, the players, is absolutely awesome. Someone asked me in the comments section below why sometimes it sounds like I'm rooting for one player or another, and my response is I don't have any money on this game, and until such time as Age of Empires opens itself up to betting, I have no skin in the game, no desire to see one player beat the other. All I care about is fun matches, instructional, educational matches, or just downright bizarre matches. Bloodlines, leather archer armor. I wonder why he's starting to get out those cav archers. The Viper with a counter castle, but pretty far away from Hera's King of the Hill castle. Continuing to build. Okay, so look at all these houses all of a sudden. Huge suburbs going up in Tatar land tell us that he is interested in starting to push, even though he's only got 18 army count. Husbandry as well. Wheelbarrow finally being researched for our Ethiopian, who is down 13-14 villagers and has allowed his opponent to catch up in military count as he continues to hammer away against infrastructure. This is very sour. Just the very tip of this battering ram that's being produced reaches the, what do we want to call this? Radius ambit? Death circle of the castle. Okay, Hera takes a better trade there with his mangonel. 1 kill to start off the engagement, but the Viper's moving left with 12 army supply and is also going up to Imperial. I thought the extra houses, I thought all of the resources he had meant that he was going to go balls to the wall in Castle Age, but nah, he was saving it all up to go up to Imperial. And where are you? Where? Oh no, right before I clicked it, there was a Shotel warrior on the field. And then he died. Oh no, where was he? I'm so sour. I'm so angry at myself. The Viper's Knight trying to bust in through the market. Good luck with that. A bunch of skirmishers and the 4 crossbows we saw from before move in. Hera tethers his quicker units to the slow. Again, unnecessary damage. Is this the first he's discovering of this? Yes, it is. So he must be kicking himself saying, oh no, there was stone here. There was gold here, and I let you take it, and now immediately retreats. Ostriches on the run as well. They think they're on the menu. Little do they know, skirmishers don't like ostrich meat. It is well known. Goodness gracious, the faster firing speed of the crossbows doesn't save them from these more powerful cav archers. And let's compare the stats. +2/+2 compared to +2/+1. Hera also heading up to Imperial, but a full minute or more behind his opponent. It looks like about a minute and a half behind his opponent. Castle going up here. He says, you know what? Not a bad idea to start exploring the map and starting to take these resources. This is 1,600 gold. That can definitely help the Ethiopian war effort. And here come the Keshiks. I am going to point you to the top of your screen. Viper sold a whole bunch of wood here. Every time these guys poke and prod at an opposing unit, they generate gold. I am so sour, by the way. I'm going to repeat myself because you guys know how much I love to repeat myself, that I missed the short, brief life of that one Shotel warrior. Take a look. 140, 141, 142, 143. The Vikings with the new patch. Oh no, what a sour here for Hera. But the Vikings with the new patch, they do generate gold when they kill, villagers, monk, trade units, but they have to kill those units. The Keshiks just have to poke and prod. Skirmishers devastating production to the left. Cav archers devastating production to the right. Running face first into a castle doesn't help though. Both players now in Imperial. 2 trebs already out for the Viper. No trebs in production for our Ethiopian. Why? He doesn't have the wood for it. Okay, Cav archers might want to reposition themselves somewhere else. They've already done the damage, or maybe take down one of these palisade walls. And here we go. Our Tatar fires back. Ethiopian castle, undefended, unrepaired, left to die. Racer. I was wondering why the blue circle of death expanded for a second. Okay, sacrifices 1 or 2 so that the others can escape unharmed. And just take a look at the Viper. He is everywhere, gobbling up resources all over the map. Everything you look, what is the quote from the Lion King? Simba. Everywhere the light touches is yours, is mine, says the Viper, who loses a Keshik to the castle as he continues to raid. 44 villager kills by him, only 14 from Hera, who is now building an emergency defensive castle here against these skirmishers. The Viper doesn't realize or notice or care that he can attack some of these villagers. Why the hell? Just a few skirmishers. And he continues to mass his army. 35 army count to 20. Now he's getting forging. I mean, okay, forging at the 43-minute mark of the game. I guess he didn't really have a plan to go into Keshiks or any melee, to be honest. Now the castle is up with crossbow support, gets rid of all of those, but oh no, take a look at his gold now. At the top left, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105. What an absolute beast of a unit in the late game when gold becomes super scarce. As I mentioned, don't discount Keshiks and their ability to generate gold. They only cost 40 gold themselves, 60 food, but 40 gold. And now take a look at the Ethiopian foot archers. 1.4 Mangadai lightning speed, machine gun speed attack for these crossbows. But will it be enough? Okay, managed to catch the Keshik in a choke point. And man, oh man, are they fast. And now they're arbalests. Uh-oh. Bad news for the Viper here, who finds another villager as she tries to get this mining camp up and running. But they need to back off. Arbalests are here. Hera himself says, you know what, good idea to take some resources, but unfortunately for him, except for this one gold patch and this gold patch, I don't see any more resources left on the map that are unclaimed. Everything else is either blue or yellow. A disastrous engage there. What the heck just happened? I mean, the Viper takes it 47 army count to 24, 144 villagers and silk armor for him as well. Remember, that's the that'll give his cav archers. I don't see any step lancers. I don't see any scout line units. So basically just for the cav archers, take a look at their armor now. 5 pierce, 4 melee. I mean, the base of 0 is annoying, but what the hell just happened here? Okay, so they took on these cav archers. Oh no, again, the high ground for the Tatars. They don't attack on a 9. They attack on a 14 now. Or I guess 13 and a half, and then they move forward into the castle and die. Timorid Siegecraft? No, not at all. No Siege Engineers as well. So these are just basic 16 range. And here we go. We've saw 2 Shotel Warriors. Oh man, I'm kicking myself again. I just want to see him die. Ugh, glass cannon. Indeed, 45 HP. What is that, a crossbow? Where are the arbalests? So he doesn't have any arbalests left. I think arbalests are what, 40, 45? 40. Okay. And skirmishers should just be the usual 35, not Vietnamese or anything like that. But wow, what a fun game. The Viper, unending, absolutely unending pressure on multiple fronts. Not the strongest units, but we saw recently the failure to use cav archers to raid effectively. Not so in this game. The Viper manages to snipe villagers here behind this butte as well. I don't even know if some of them must have died behind here. No one knows. No one will discover their bodies. This is like bodies buried behind Las Vegas. No one knows where the hell they are or how many of them there even are. Cav archers now to the left. The skirmishers we saw here earlier, scaring villagers and ostriches alike. And what a fun, fast-paced game. 51 crossbows for our Tatar. 90 crossbows. Let's call it crossbows because, you know, for the, 90% of the game, they were crossbows. Peak 8 p.m. for the Viper beats Hera, which is no easy feat, roughly at the same time, 20 to 28 minute mark. Can't see the economies being too different. Relics playing no role. More trash resources for our Tatar, more scarce resources for our Ethiopian. Gold basically identical. Holy shit, 4 units of gold apart. That is crazy. Stone, though, take a look. Our Ethiopian. How did our Ethiopian get more stone? Interesting that the despite the fact that the Viper here with all of these expansions and villagers in different locations, I guess there's a third one unclaimed, is the one who's behind in the scarce resources, the gold and the stone. In any event, 136 kills to 118. What is this? More than 3 times the villager kills for our Tatar, who again just pokes He prods. He pulls his opponent in many different directions. He uses the high ground incredibly well here. And using that high ground, using the pokage and the proddage and the fast-paced movement of these cav archers, he gets the W. The Viper does. Oh, what? Oh, shit. You know what? It wasn't at the end of the game. It wasn't at the end of the game. 51 to 90. Yeah. But this is okay. So a little bit. No, look at this. Oh, this is the second time I've done that this week. Just a little bit more. 27 more units of gold for our Tatar. Okay, that makes more sense now. That makes more sense with all these different expansions that he has out on the map, and the kill count now 142 to 118, 59 villagers. So this is basically almost quadruple, unless my math is completely off, right? To 50, no, more than quadruple. Holy shit, the Viper here just pulling Hera apart. And like I said, with the pokage, with the proddage, with the cav archers, the crossbows, the skirmishers, and the trebs. And let's not forget the Keshiks. Oh man, are they a fun unit to see. The Viper gets the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.